No,
What's the lens?
I wear regular contacts, and over the course of the years, they just kept getting. I primarily nearsighted, so I was always seeing it for distance. And one time, I was like, you know what, I'm going to need bifocals, and I was just there was a little bit too much of a pride issue. I'm like, I don't want bifocals, but I got to a point where I couldn't even read the shampoo bottle in a hotel room. I'm like, wait, which ones? So I asked, I said, do I need, are there bifocal contacts? What do I do? And they said, oh, no, we'll take one of your eye and we'll manage it to see distance. And we'll take another eye and do it for, so we just magnified. So I used to have like 5.25 and 7.5. Now they're both 6. And so they just kind of like met in the middle. And so I just have to pay attention when I'm reading my phone that I'm not reading it off the wrong eye because it's trying to do it at a
Oh
distance.
my goodness. If I had to worry about which eyeball I'm supposed to be looking out of, I don't know what I would do, Patrick.
Yeah.
I actually have worn glasses since I was 10,
Oh,
and I had bifocals at age 10.
wow.
And it was not cool then to have any eyeglasses at all.
The only people who think it's cool to have glasses are the ones that don't have them.
That don't have.
I don't think it was ever cool.
Well, we're live, Patrick, and we're sitting here running our mouths. Hi, everyone.
How you doing, everybody? Thanks for joining us.
Yes, we're so glad to see you here on Monday night. And I don't have new glasses. These are reading glasses that I go back and forth with. But, you know, it's so these, I really don't like these, but I can actually see your comments. I think. But if it looks, Patrick said it looked, they were crooked. I think it's my head. But
well, yeah, I didn't want to make you self-conscious. You're
no,
good.
not at all. Hi, good folk from all over the place.
Already got 100 people joining us in the chat. Oh, and somebody's even coming in from New Jersey.
Oh, you got to be kidding! New Jersey.
Somebody in your backyard. Your stalker is nearby.
Oh, New Jersey. I don't know about that old New Jersey. New Jersey. The Garden State's my home. From the ocean.
Oh, I don't think Illinois has a theme song. Does New Jersey have a theme song?
We had to learn it in 5th grade. New Jersey, the Garden State's my home. It's from the ocean, from the Jersey Shore to the. I'm not going to do the rest.
Okay, wait. From the Jersey Shore to what? To
the
border of Pennsylvania.
Right.
How did you put that to song?
I think to the Delaware. Delaware was in there, of course.
Delaware was in there.
Because that's our other border. It's the Delaware River from New York State all the way down to Chesapeake, all the way down to the Delaware Bay. So we're bordered by water.
So you join the chat, you get to learn about vintage, and you get to hear Scott sing, and you learn about border geography of the greater Eastern Coast.
How are things in the suburban Chicago?
We were crazy. Weather-wise, we just had hail about an hour ago, and then the sun came out. It lasted for about 5 minutes. We went, I think we hit 80 to get today, and over the weekend we had a frost warning. So we're just all over the place.
Yeah, you can't quite put winter clothes away. And
no.
Here we always leave a couple sweatshirts because it's, if you go down the shore, it's cold. We've actually, my mother and I were talking about this before. We've actually had 4th of July picnics in the garage sometimes because it's cold. It can happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, so there's all kinds of whatever weirdness going on, but the hail was a surprise. We knew it was supposed to rain. We did not know it was going to hail, and I didn't think you could get hail when it was 80 degrees outside. So I'm assuming it's cooling off now. That must have been what was coming behind, but we live and learn, and you know what? You wait 30 minutes, the weather will change again.
Well, it was Will Rogers who said everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it.
That is true.
Hello, Revive It Sisters. And I just saw our friends Heather and Shane, who also have a lovely channel. It's nice to see you. Heather, I have not seen you in a long time, and I want to know why. Well, I know why, but Shane, I want to see you again. Those hardwood floors are looking wonderful. If you're not sure about that, you can go to their channel and see what's what. They had some hardwood floors refinished. They're beautiful. And also, it's Justine in New Jersey. Oh, you're in Jersey visiting your cousin. Well, good for you. And thank you to Karen in advance, Karen Williams, who will be doing the starts and stops
Appreciate that, Karen.
Sale. Now, you don't have to pre-register. I ship from New Jersey. We have a lot of new folks, so I want to explain and I think I'm pointing in the right direction, but
yes, you are.
Okay. That one right there, Patrick ships from Chicago area, and he'll send his own invoices to you. So if you win something from him, you email him, and he's got his email right there. I didn't put mine in, but I'll tell you what it is. If you win from me, then you write to me, and I'll ship from New Jersey. So it's auction style. We hold something up. The bidding starts at like $8, and it goes 8, 9, 10, 11, something like that. We count it down. We give it a few seconds. Karen will put the stop in when she sees the bidding has stopped. If people are bidding, we let them bid. That's the way an auction works. And then the person who wins. We'll tell you who the winner is. What am I forgetting?
You usually invoice faster than I do, but you will get your invoices out by when? Probably the minute after the show ends?
Yeah, well, I've been known to do that if I don't go to sleep early. I always say, if you don't hear from me by dinner time the next day, please reach back out to me, because sometimes it means I lost your email or didn't get it, or weird things happen.
I typically take a little bit longer, so I will try and invoice by Wednesday night. It might go into Thursday, but if that happens, I will let you know. I do this is a side thing for me, so I have a full-time job during the day, and I'm also involved in community theater, and I'm directing a show. So I took tonight off I gave my cast off tonight so I could be here with Scott, but I have rehearsal every other night this week, so I'm going to have to squeeze in when to do invoices. But I'll get them out, and I will get everything shipped, assuming it's paid, shipped out by the end of the week. So trying to take care of everybody.
I'm trying to.
And thank you, Karen, for putting my channel in there.
And Kentucky Digger Steve, Tina or Steve, hello, and thank you so much for signing up to get notifications from my eBay store. I have not put those Vienna plates in yet, but they were asking a question about some plates. Mm-hmm. As long as if you sign to the eBay store, and Patrick can do this too, Patrick has one, you can get notifications of when we list things. So you never have to wonder, I wonder if he's going to sell that in eBay or not. You don't have to worry about if I tell you or not, or I might tell you and change my mind. If you sign up and you are help me out, you're a subscriber, you'll get notifications. And if you don't want the notifications, trust me, I understand that. You can turn them off.
And Scott's better about posting what he finds ahead of time. So if you sign up for notifications on your YouTube channel, you'll know they're coming, like those Vienna plates. And then you sign up for notifications on eBay, and you can be the first one to hop in and make sure you get the bids in time. And I'm getting questions. I appreciate for people that have been watching for a while. I do have a new location. I got married last year, and I have moved. So for Steve that was asking about my Crocs, the collection has thinned, but there's a shelf that's up out of view that at least some of the quality over quantity, some of the best ones I've retained. I'm going to sell the rest. And then somebody was asking about my camel. I don't know anything about the camel. I got him at an estate sale. He weighs about 22 pounds. He's just pottery. I love him, and I don't know what he is. I just think he looks cool. And thanks for asking.
He does look cool. So I just want to, we sometimes miss things, so we don't try to ignore anyone or miss anything. So just a blanket hello to everybody in all of the wonderful places from which you hail.
And you're getting all kinds of New Jersey people.
No pun there, Patrick. From
yeah. You got another Ocean County, New Jersey, and then you got Atlantic County, New Jersey.
I'm seeing it. The Jersey Shore is showing up tonight.
And, my husband is from Gloucester County, New Jersey. So, New Jersey is even represented here in Illinois.
Well, as you know, oh, good grief. There goes one of those air blowers, leaf blower things.
Oh, of course.
Of course. Let's go ahead, Patrick, and get the show started. I'm going to enlarge you, and you'll sell 2 items. and we'll let you
All
go
right.
ahead and get started. So give us a thumbs up, everybody, if you get a chance, if you're on a device and it's easy to do it. If not, don't worry about it.
All right, appreciate it. So we have drifted away from what we did the last couple of years. As for the new people, we used to have a sale that was the unbreakable sale, and that was actually a request of mine because since I do this on the side, it's a lot of times it was easier to ship things that didn't break. But then I started having a surplus of breakable things, so we've now broken the rules on the unbreakable sale. But I still have theoretically some unbreakable items, and one of them is what I'm going to start with. All right, if you try really hard, you're going to be able to break these because they're porcelain handles. But what I have is a pair of a fork and a knife. It is a $20 start. It's A.E. Lewis, the Florian pattern. Now, I will say I got these together, but then when I got them home, I realized the box is structured to only hold one. So this would have sold either the fork seems to fit in there slightly better. So the box was technically just for the fork, and I don't necessarily have the box for the knife, but they can be cozy. They can be next to each other. But what they are is a cheese knife with this beautiful Amari style porcelain handle with this royal blue. Getting a little bit of reflection, so I apologize for that. But this royal blue porcelain with the gold accents. The floral design. That's a little bit better. The floral design on that goes all the way up. You can see on the knife itself, if I held it the right way, you can see the Florian pattern and the A.E. Lewis made in Sheffield, England. So I would say these are probably around era of the war, maybe a little bit after. I'd say maybe going into the 50s. So thank you, Claire, for asking that. There's no date. There is the box, but there's no date on the box. But it's that shagreen, that faux shark skin box. There's a label on the inside that had the black and the gold of the Florian pattern. So it could be pre-war, but I'm going to guess the cutlery is after World War II. They're both in pristine condition. I did kind of have a question about this little trident style fork. It's very, very narrow. So it's not a meat fork. Somebody suggested it might be a pickle fork to be able to, that those tines would help keep the pickle on the little extensions would keep the pickle on the tines. I couldn't swear to that. It could just be a knife and cheese set. So, and again, it may not even be a set because came in different boxes, but you still they have the matching handles on the bottom. And there's this really nice curve to it. It sits very nice. This is definitely for cheese. This is very long and I don't know how much you need the fork for cheese, but I would say if you're going to gift it, yeah, I'd say a cheese set is a fairly safe option. I do see a bid, so I'm going to go ahead and start counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. So I will wrap them in such a way so that the porcelain doesn't get scratched up, but we only have the one box that will be shared. And it once upon a time, it was hinged. There's still the ribbon holding it, but it's no longer attached. So the box is just basic, serving a basic purpose right now. But there's no other markings other than that one label that had come on here. I think probably would have stuck in the top of the box. But you can tell the top of the box is satin. So no shock that label didn't stick on it long term. All right. You see the stop came through, and it looks like Patsy M is picking them up for 29. All right. Karen will confirm with that, but thank you so much, Patsy, for picking that up. Thanks, so those were my pseudo unbreakable item. Now I'm going to go to something that is breakable. So this is a Jeanette uranium glass flour measure, according to, and thank you, Karen, confirm that was Patsy at 29. the flour measure. This is a $25 start. It is large. I had my tape measure. Here it is. Height-wise, we're at a little over 6 inches. Measurement-wise, I find this an odd item because the measurements are extremely hard to see. But if you look on it, I have to do it so I can see the reflection. There's multiple measurements on each side. So on this one, it says pound of flour. So the highest measurement is a pound of flour. And then it says even full, 10, half pound, quarter pound, 2, 5, 10. So there's measurements there. But then you go over next to it, and this one is also, this is pounds for, maybe that's also flour. No, it's something that ends with a D. Oh, it's fluid, but it still has a pound on it. But this one has 4, 8, 12, 2024. And on the back is like the traditional measure where you've got 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cup, and the 4 cup mark is almost to the rim. So this is a 4 cup measuring cup. Just gonna be a little hard to read. That's kind of where our conversation about the cheaters came from. So we've got, but it's in beautiful condition. There are no chips. There are no cracks. It's got this great, almost deco style handle to it with this lovely angle to it. It would look great in any type of kitchen, whether it's modern or traditional, farmhouse or mid-century. It is an awesome piece, great color, and it would glow. I do see bidding coming in, and right now, make sure you're on all messages because 2 people have bid the same price. So just be aware. We'll have to figure out who is first if no one raises that. But I do see the numbers, so I'm going to go ahead and start counting it down. 10, 9, 8. Oh, and I don't know if I said it. It's Jeanette. It is not marked. There's a cartouche on the bottom. There's no mark for it. And yes, I'm sorry. I should have specified that. They are raised. It's not etched. I don't know if once upon a time there would have been coloring on there, but all the pictures I found, that was normal. So you can feel them across. So on the 2 columns here as well as on the back. Thank you for asking for that clarification, Elena. 10, 9, 8, you can feel the seam, the mold seam on this one. But even on that, there's not even a nick or anything there. It's in absolutely fantastic. And yes, it is uranium. It would glow. I just could not find my black light. I think I left it at the store. So go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. So yeah, so this was a fun find. I don't even think in my personal life I've ever had a measuring cup this big, much less a period one. I don't know. What would I ever cook that needs 4 cups of anything? But I did find it interesting that it specifically measured flour in kind of like a pouring measuring cup. To me, flour goes into like a solid. All right. I am seeing Lori Perry at 7:18 right before the stop at 7:19. So again, if Karen can confirm that, it's Lori Perry at 46. Thank you, Karen, and thank you, Lori. Thank you for picking that up. I know you'll give it a good home. All right, those are my 2. We pass it back to Scott.
Okay. Great start, Patrick. So now we have a book, and the book starts at $12. I have had so much fun with this book. And Patrick.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell us the year, and I'm putting you on the spot, so you might not even want to tell us. And if you don't, that's fine. Would you mind telling me the month and the day of your birth?
October 12th.
Well, I would like to wonder if you would like to know Let's go to
I
October.
always look, I love looking up stuff that's tied to my birthday. Like, okay, why did they pick this? Song of your birthday,
Well, you
movie of
may
your
be
birthday, book of
in,
your birthday.
in good company with me, but before I tell you, a lot of you already know how much fun I've had with this. Let's tell you what it is first. This is a calendar of dinners with 615 recipes, including the story of Crisco. Now, I did sit up the night that I did this. It was riveting. I'm telling you.
The story of Crisco, is that what you said?
Correct.
Wow.
And of course, you know who published the book, Procter and Gamble. Even and there's something called a verso and the end papers. I don't know all those names of the type of paper. Patrick probably does. But look at the Crisco. Do you see it?
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Is this just the end paper?
That would be the end paper, yes.
Okay. You see, is it showing up
Oh, yeah.
as the embossed Crisco? Anyway, so published by Procter and Gamble, of course. It was originally the original 1913, again in 14. This is the 1915 version. So this book printed in 1915. Look at that little girl there, just waiting to find out if she can lick the Crisco off of, her oyster plate, and then go vomit. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just being Anyway, well, I say
okay, lick the Crisco is one of the most disturbing sentences I think you're going to say tonight.
Oh, Crisco and vomit. Well, look, our good friend Vinny, and Vinny, we love you. And Vinny gets a laugh out of this. When he was a boy, he ate Crisco. He didn't know any better. You know how you go in the kitchen and you try things? Anyway, Patrick, would you like to know what was suggested for dinner on your birthday in 1915?
I would absolutely love to know that.
Well, I'm about to tell you. And I'll tell you this. For my birthday, they recommended Tutti Frutti ice cream. Thank you very much.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah. All right, let's see what you would have. You would have cream of carrot soup.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Roast pig, applesauce, candied sweet potatoes, creamed celery, kumquat salad, cheese, croutons, and coffee.
And coffee. Okay.
Everybody has coffee. So not only does it tell you what's for dinner every night of every day of the month, but it's filled with recipes. It's just a fun little book.
That is so cool.
It's clean. It doesn't smell. It doesn't, I just love this little book. Anyway, thank you for letting me run my mouth. It was a lot of fun. The high bid right now is $13, and we'll go ahead and count down the story of Crisco. By the way, as I said, the recipes are in here on how to, Yorkshire fruit loaves. I mean, it's just, you love it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. On the 1915 story of Crisco, which only takes up about maybe 5 pages. I mean, how much can they go on and on about Crisco?
Yeah, because I don't think you probably want to know. I don't think I want to know where Crisco comes from or what it's made out of.
Well, ask me any questions you want to know. If you get stuck on the train with me, you're going to be, oh, will this man be quiet? Enough about the Crisco. And the high winner, or the winner, is, I'm trying to get out of the way. Come here, celery. I think. All right, Karen's letting the bids roll. The winner is Lori Perry at 32, I think. And I think our other bidder came in after. Thank you, Perry, to the Perrys and everyone who placed bids on it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I believe that's who our winner is. Now I've got to sell. We're going to have 2 celery vases, but let's just do this one to begin with. Okay. Thank you so much. It's a lot of fun, Robert and Lori. I hope you cook something from it, and I know you will because you have a fantastic kitchen. Let's do this, and this won't take so long. You know what a celery vase is. This one is chip-free, and it's crack-free. There's a little roughness on the bottom, down here at the very, very bottom. But I'll go ahead and tell you that this celery vase starts at $23. And I'll give you the stats on it in just a minute. It's 7 inches tall. And this particular vase, celery vase, which is for celery, if you didn't know, this was manufactured by Richards and Hartley Glass Company. And it was simply item number 900, mold number 900. It didn't have a name. But today it's also known as, and that comes from collectors or authors of books that maybe the scholarship wasn't there. They didn't have the original catalogs and they just give names to it. It's also known as daisy and button with oval panels, panel diamond cut, and fan. This was introduced in 1887. The company operated from 1865, so right at the end of the Civil War, and they operated until 1891. What happened in 1891? The United States Glass Company got them. Right, so we know this was produced before, and it was introduced in 1887 and produced up until 1891 under Richards and Hartley.
That's gorgeous.
If there's any questions, so we're looking for an opening bid of $23. Celery vases would sit on middle-class tables. They were, well, most of them are, the ones that we show are not cut. They did make cut ones, but these are all EAPG, Early American Pattern glass. And this would sit out on the table. There'd be a little bit of water in the bottom of it. The celery stalks would sit in there, and you could munch on celery anytime you wanted.
And show how refined you were to all of your guests because you had enough money to have celery out.
Okay, any interest at 23? Okay,
yep,
Lucas,
you have your first bid.
All right, we're going to count it down. Again, Lucas, there's no bids. There are no chips at the top. There's one little spot here at the bottom, but you've got all this rough, see all these diamonds? Those are cut in there anyway. There might be a little bit, I'm feeling a little something on one of them, but it's felt and not seen, as we say in the business. So antique glass made in this, just outside of Pittsburgh. High bid right now is 23, and we're counting it down. 10, 9, and you get the info with it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on this celery vase. Not unusual, but I love how it's got a very low foot and no stem. A lot of them have stems. The second
and
one,
from a functional standpoint, it's just a vase. I mean, at this point, it's really a nice throat. It's got a nice height. It looked beautiful with flowers in it.
It would.
And you've got a nice story to go with your flower vase. It's not a Teleflora plain glass one.
I'll enlarge you, and then we'll see who. Oh, what did I do? What did I do?
I'm fine on my side.
Oh,
I see both of us.
sorry about that, everybody. I know I'm like pointing at you, and everybody's like, "What is he doing?" But it's on. I'll fix this in just a moment. And okay, so our winner is Cheryl Miller at 28.
That is what I see as well.
And I thank you so much.
All right, starting my next item is another unbreakable item, but you could use this to break a lot of things because this is heavy. It's a $25 start, and as the reflection is showing at the top, it is the Juso mat. So I did a little investigation. because it's all marked on the bottom about the registration marks and all that stuff. Of course, it's on the internet. It must be true. Try to get into the registered patent office. A little bit of a debate whether this is, I would say, 50s, but there is some evidence it's also from the 40s. Which Scott, I'm sure, has more experience with that.
Those things weigh a ton.
They do. Like this is my workout for tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
It's got the rubber feet on the bottom are still in situ, so it's going to protect your counter, but it's heavy and it is a beast to operate. So what does a juice-o-mat do? Well, it does exactly what you think it's going to do. It makes juice. So the lever on this, this is in the category of they don't make them like they used to. It lifts up. I can do it. Ugh.
Yeah, don't wear a necktie when you operate that thing.
So when you lift it up, you get the jaws of life sitting there on the top, and you've got the receiving end. So you've got the top crushing part and what it gets crushed against. And then you've got the receptacle, which comes out, and you can see there's even a little pour spout. So you can pour it out with or without your pulp. But you can see the top, everything just drains in there. This is in great shape. It's one of these cases where I can't imagine this got used a lot. Not because it couldn't be, but just because this would take some effort just to squeeze yourself some fresh orange juice in the morning. But how cool would this look just sitting on your counter? Just a beautiful item, particularly depending on what kind of decor you've got. The red enamel coating is in great shape. There are no scratches. There's nothing nicked off of it. It's in absolutely great shape. You can even see the way the light is reflecting off the chrome on the top. It doesn't have any dents. It doesn't have any scratches. It's in fantastic shape. The receptacle part, because this is what you'd be handling and everything, that's a slightly different material. So you can see it's a matte finish, but that just helps it easier to clean. And it's great. It's just a great piece. Thank you, Lori. I see the first bid. I might be packing this separately if you get it separate from your uranium glass creamer measuring cup. But I'll go ahead and start counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And even with the rubber stop feet, this is not going on my desk because I don't want that to scratch. Okay, we will watch for the stop on that one. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to do a little preamble of my pride and joy that's coming up next.
Oh, it must be
if you watch my I did a short preview video on Instagram and on YouTube. So if you follow my channel, you'll sometimes see those. This is one of the items. I had a huge collection of these. Again, when I moved, thinned out my crock collection, also thinned out my flower frogs. This was one I was holding on to, and I'm now going to sell it here. And I see the bidding is still coming in on the juice-o-mat, so watching for that. What this is, and I will tell you why I'm giving it a preamble before I even give the price. It's Arabella from Walters & Sohn. So it's a German manufacturer. There's nothing wrong with American-made glass, but those were never my favorites. Cambridge did some lovely pieces, but they're not special. This is Arabella, and she's not even in nude. She's fully dressed. She's got roses cascading down. I'll show in a bit. But what I wanted to show is, or talk about before I give you the price, is there's one recessment. And this is another, just like what Scott was talking about, the celery. Looks like we did finish the juice, and that is going to, I see Joshua at 50. And thank you. YouTube is still giving weird names attached to your YouTube name. So I apologize, Joshua. I don't recognize the T8S48X. So if you could just make sure you send me an email so I know who you are with your mailing address. Anyway, it's just like Scott said with his celery vase. You feel it more than you see it. I think this actually happened at the time it was made because it has been fire polished. There's a little recessed spot here that because of the way the rim is done, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong. But if you run your finger across it, these are all level. And then this one has an indentation, but this indentation has been completely fire polished, so nothing is rough. But I pride myself on quality and condition, so I just want to make sure I pointed that out before we start bidding. So you get the 3-piece set. You get the flower frog statue itself, which could have gone into his own little centerpiece without. You then get the flower frog itself. The flower frog itself also has a crack, so just be aware of that. That sets, though, in the bowl, and the way it sets, you literally cannot see the bottom. So that one I was less picky about, but because technically the edge is more visible, I wanted to point that out. So you get all 3 pieces, the bowl, the frog, and the Arabella herself. And that's a starting bid is $85. So these are, I'm not going to say they're rare because they were produced into the 20s. They're not as common in the United States. So most likely a lot of people who see flower frogs, these glass frogs and the glass ladies, when they saw my collection, they would not have seen some of the ones that I had because they're not as common. So I will show you her up close. If you take her out of the bowl and you take her out of the stand, she herself on her stand is 6 inches tall. And there's like almost 1.5 inches where she would set into the next piece. She's got a beautiful look. You can see she's got her hair done up. And I would say it is her hair because you can see the individual lines for how her hair was made. Again, just the level of detail that went into some of the German and the Polish, the Bohemian glass ones that I collected. You just don't see them in that level of detail. So you can see either their braids or a floral crown that she has. Individual, look at the detail on her face, her nose, her cheeks, her eyes. I think that's the lyrics to a song. She's got a collar on her dress because she is not a nude. So she's got the collar on her dress. She's fully dressed. And as you go down, you can see her foot is sticking out from her dress because, again, she's fully dressed. Holding a rose, very long, elegant lines. And then her other hand is trailing what appear to be roses that are attached to her dress. I don't think she's holding them. You can see they go all the way down. So that is Arabella from Walter and Sona. I don't see any action on this one. So I will go ahead and pass her, and I will happily keep her in my collection a little bit longer and pass it over to Scott.
Maybe offer her again at the end if you want to.
Possibly if we've got time.
Okay. That was really pretty. I have no idea who made this, and I'm not going to guess. I just don't know. But it is just over 7 inches tall, and it's a Jadeite vase, and it glows under a black light. Before I tell you the price of it, there's a very small chip at the top, mostly felt, but you can see it. It's very small. It's almost like a shaved flake off of the top. So the top is polished, and I'm trying to even get to where it's very hard. So it's right, the little chip is right there. And maybe if I get into a certain, it's right, maybe you can see it better there. So it's a flat, see how I turn it this way, you don't see it? It's like flat on the top. The bottom is interesting. And it starts at $25. Just over 7 inches tall, $25, and that's what it looks like under a UV light. It's unmarked, and I don't know who manufactured this. I don't even know if it is an American vase or not. It's thick. I don't know if you can see the thickness of it.
Yes.
And The bottom is interesting. That looks like a hole, but it only goes up through the stem. Now, why that has to be, I don't know. See that little hole right there? It just goes right to where it looks like this piece was a separate piece and attached. See? Because it's solid in the very bottom of it. But it's just a pretty jadeite, and it's different from the Fenton colors. So in fact, not everything is, and I'll just do this very, very fast. I hope.
You got your first bid.
So just for comparison, that's a piece of whose glass, right? See how not all jadeite looks the same? This is from the 30s. This is a Fenton candlestick. Notice the difference in the color? All right. So jade has different colors just the way just the way the pink glass does from this era. So I thought I'd show you that. So I guess I'll go ahead and count this down. We have Kathy Minter has the bid of, and Kathy, I have the black glass that was the I have it, so we're good. Don't you worry about a thing. Yeah, I'm not sure it's American either. Kentucky Digger Steve, I've got my doubts that it's an American. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not everything has to be made in America. Of course, hardly anything is anymore. But because of that. Anyway, counting it down: 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the end of that. Pretty. I love the shape. Okay. And then while we wait for the stop, then we're going to go into the 1930s kitchen where I love to be. That's coming up in a minute. But the jade vase. Oh, gracious. It looks like Thomas Cummings. At 50. Thomas, thank you. Thanks, everyone else. Everyone who showed interest in that and placed bids on that. Thank you so much. Next up, the kitchen jar starts at $20. It's an old one, not a repro. Thank you, Thomas. They pump these reproductions out. But this one, I'll give Karen a second. We're going to start at 20 on this one, Karen. This is the big one. For flour or sugar is typically but it's all about that lid.
Look, you've already got the first bid.
See that lid? I mean, there's certain things you can fake. Certain age. And I've dealt with these. The new ones, the lids don't look like they're not. Some of them are green, but it's a brand new paint. And look at that old wax paper on the inside. Now, Granny put that in there. See that? I love that.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great? So it's got that cardboard pieces in there underneath of it. Look at that. You can't fake that old cardboard. That is 1930s cardboard all day long. And Granny protected it with a piece of waxed paper. I love it. And look at that lid. The cakes that lid, the hand that opened and closed that lid through the 1930s and World War II. And I just love these things. And so you've got all the scratches on the bottom of it. Not a new one at all. Definitely the antique. And typically this big size would be for your flour or sugar. So we'll count this one down. And here we go. I saw D had one. I did. The high bid right now is 22, and we'll count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it. And as we wait for our winner to come in, I'll enlarge Patrick and we'll wait for the stop, and then we can announce our winner on the 1930s kitchen jar.
Very good. And I'll do a little preamble while we're waiting for the bidding war to finish on that. Scott took us into the kitchen for the 30s. I'm going to take you into the living room or the sewing room or wherever ladies would go in the 30s to do their
if you'll
needlecraft. All right, looks like we got the stop.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and say thank you so much to Christina at 36.
That is what I see as well.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
All right, so what I have is a set, and this you'll get all three of these. This is not choice. You get all three of these. It's a $10 start, and you get one issue that is from November of 1932, and then two issues that are from 1934. We've got February 1934, and we've got March of 1934. So you've got some great, we take you back into the kitchen. Look at that green linoleum tile floor of the 1934 Bon Ami ad. These are a fun find for first-hand primary research advertisements. So you can see what types of products were being sold. When you come across needle points and some of those designs, you find where all the patterns are from. You got a Kalamazoo stove, but what I wanted to show is it also shows you the fashion. So again, 1934, what were ladies wearing? The flapper era is gone. We are past 1929 Depression. Skirt lengths got longer, but they're still pretty tight. And you also have them in the ads. So this is the type of stuff I love flipping through things like this. So that was the 34 one. The other one, you're going to have similar ads to it. I'll pull up the 1932 cover image. Yes, Listerine used to make a toothpaste as well as Listerine antiseptic, but they had Listerine toothpaste for 25 cents in that tube. Again, it is a needle arts magazine, so you've got all the instructions of to embroider and the crazy magic that comes with two sticks and a ball of yarn. Baby doll clothes. You can buy the baby doll. Magic, making your own lace. And again, colored illustration. So this is 1932. Just picture some of the Hollywood films of the 30s, the Cary Grant, the Katharine Hepburn, seeing clothes like this on a day-to-day basis. And here's where you could make some of your own and add your own trim. So I see a couple of bids coming in, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on these. I'll go ahead and count it down. Again, you get all three. This is not choice. So you get the February 1934, March 1934, and November 1932. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Got a rug ad on the back of this one. Olsen Rugs. I think they're still around. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. So these are always fun finds, and I know Scott's audience appreciates them. So it's nice to be able to sell them in something like this. So that's the Needlecraft mags. Watch for the stop for that one. And now I have to figure out how to show this without dropping it.
That's a cool shirt you have on, Patrick.
Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Like I said, it hit 80 today, so I'm like, okay, we're going to short sleeve, but some of Roger's clothes are a little tight on me, so I have to put another shirt underneath it to keep it open. But thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. and we're watching the bidding come in on those. So I'll just do a little preamble on this one. So this is, I did our lovely Google lens to try and figure out what I could find and try to do a little bit of research into this pattern with the glass mount or the metal mount with the glass bowl. It is an old oil lamp that has been turned into an electrified lamp. All right, I see the stop came in, and it looks like Charlotte picked them up for $22. If Karen can confirm that, it looks like several came in at the same mark. And Charlotte, I'm pretty sure you purchased from me, but if you could do me a favor, just go ahead and send me an email so I have it fresh in my fields. I might have more than one Charlotte. So anyway, so this is a traditional oil lamp that would have had its own wick. It would have had its own ability and a big hurricane lamp. Well, around turn of the century, getting in 1910, those lamps got electrified. Now, what's nice about this one is that the bowl was not modified. So the bowl itself can still hold oil. So if you want, you can take the electrical, this piece just screws on. You can go find the screw part. And I'm sorry, this is a $25 start. So if Karen, I forgot to say that for Karen's $25 start, you can take this electrified screw piece, this whole thing lifts out. You can find either retrofitted new ones, or you can go find older ones from where the bowl has broken. Screws on, it would have the place to turn to bring the wick up and down that drops into the oil. And then you put the hurricane shade over it. So you can return this to its original purpose. The only thing you would have is they had to drill a hole here for the cord to come off of the addition. It goes on the outside of the bowl to then go inside the body. And then there's another hole down here. You keep those in the back. The design here is on the front of the butterfly design. People wouldn't even notice it. But the fact is, I did test this and it does still work. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's an old cord. So it's sold as is, where is, be buyer beware. But I did test it and it works as is. So I put a light bulb in there, plugged it in, it worked just fine. So you can use it as a functional lamp. It has the harp on here with the finial is still included. So you can find a traditional shade and you've got the original vintage finial that was put on when this was electrified. No real way of knowing when it was electrified. Scott's a little bit more knowledgeable on wiring. I don't typically do lamps. But it does have the marking on the side of it. It is not their one side is not wider than the other. So maybe 50s, 60s, my guess.
Absolutely.
So, but it is still functional. Put it in a place with a surge protector. You're set. I'm not seeing any bids coming in on it. So I will go ahead and stop this one.
Patrick.
Yes.
Just for clarification for people who might want to know, could you move your hand from you're covering the painted base? I would like to see a little bit more of where the butterfly and the flowers are. Could we see that up close?
Thank you, sir. Yes.
And what I'd like to know is it pink? Is it painted glass or is it a porcelain?
It is a very pale pink. And I would say it is porcelain. Yeah. It's a metal base.
Mm-hmm.
It's translucent. Actually, it's probably glass.
Good. I'm glad that it is glass because that makes me think that it was either made in Connecticut or in Pittsburgh.
Scoville was the brand that I found.
I didn't hear you that.
Scoville.
I'm not familiar with Scoville.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on them. So
never heard of Scoville.
So I'm not sure if that was the maker or that was the design, but this exact painted design did show up when I did the Google image search.
It seems like it would be, especially with the butterfly and the floral, it seems very 1880s, very aesthetic era, maybe.
I would not disagree with that. Molded glass bowl.
Yeah, it's very nice. You have a bid of 25.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Roxanne. So I'll go ahead and count it down. And thanks for asking for the clarification. I was so concerned about not knocking the whole thing over. Didn't get into go to the details. So thanks, Scott. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And so when I ship it, the bowl is attached that I cannot remove, but I will remove this top so there's no flexion. And I'll just find a box big enough that I can wrap this to secure so it ships just like a crystal champagne goblet. There will be no torque on the base. All right. Roxanne picks it up for $25. Good, great buy. Appreciate it, Roxanne.
That was a very pretty example. I like that a lot. Pretty one, Roxanne.
And that was my 2.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm okay. I was lost in a thought. Let's have one more celery. This will be the last one for the night. There's one with a stem. Boy, you know, to look at that, you wouldn't necessarily think that it's as old as it is. It doesn't seem like it's a very old design, but it is. It starts at $23. It's 8.5 inches tall. It's chip-free, crack-free, and it's not sick. The pattern is called English. It was made by Bakewell, Pears and Company of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They operated from 1807, wow, to 1882. This was introduced in 1877. So they might have been able to exhibit at the Centennial in Philadelphia in 1876, but they weren't around in 1891 to get swallowed up by United States Glass. Bakewell, Pears, P-E-A-R-S, and Company of Pittsburgh, 1807 to 1882. This celery at 8.5 inches tall is also known as ribbon. And it's a sand, I think they called it a sand etch or a sand. This part is like a frosting here, see? Frosted, rather. And again, this is one that it's footed, a low stem, right? And a generous amount of size in the vase to accommodate the celery. And you needed it so that it wouldn't topple over, you know, that it could hold the celery. And you know, I wish I had taken a picture of when I had those 3 celery vases on the top of that china closet filled with celery with all the leaves. Anyway, you get the information with it, of course. The high bid right now is 40, and we'll count this down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the celery from around 1877 in a pattern called English. Oh my goodness. Then we got some napkins. What time is it? We're doing well, Patrick.
Yep.
Very well time-wise. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I got a box of napkins coming up. Oh, there's the stop. Ellie Hill at 45. I think Terry came in after Terry and Kentucky Digger Steve came in after, so it is Ellie Hill. And where is that? I lost my spot. It's Ellie Hill at 45. Got that right? Is that right? Okay. I hope so. Thank you, everyone who placed bids on this. I know you like celeries, and I try to buy as many as I can. I do find them around here in the East, here in the old Northeast. There was a lot. Let's see. What am I doing next? Where is it? Okay, 15. Okay, let me back up. There we go. Terry, I think we might. Oh, lagging. All right, good time to hit refresh. Make sure you're in live chat, atop in live chat, right? Is that right? I think so. All right, I got a box of napkins. Now, they don't appear to have ever been used, but there is just storage discoloring, so they will need to be cleaned if you're going to use them. But this box of 12 napkins, 1 dozen, and I'll show them to you because they're in here. We start at $15. $15 for a box of 12 napkins, and of course I have to show them to you. But let's take a look at the box first. I'd put the box somewhere between 1935 to 1945, maybe even a little bit later than that. But we see Tablecraft by Rosemary. And then here it says, Rosemary, permanently finished by the Basco process. And this I get a kick out of. Patrick, I've never seen this. I love this business. Look at the bottom of the box. Made right in America. You see that?
I have not seen that before either.
It almost makes me think of World War II.
Yeah, that would have been my guess.
The boxes of the Christmas ornaments had Uncle Sam. These don't come from Germany. Don't worry about them Germans. These are American Christmas ornaments. So it's so funny. I've never seen made right in America. Now, I know you want to see them, and I'm going to show them to you. And Patrick will have to tell you what they're made of, because let me just read on the box. It says 1 dozen. They are size 18 by 18, and the pattern is called Lilac, hemmed and ready for use. We take the lid off. They're tied in their little string, and they're almost like a damask type of a, let me pull them out. You're going to have to clean them. That string looks like it's been on there and all. See that, Patrick?
Nice vintage string attached to that.
Now, when I turn it that way, are you seeing the pattern?
Yes.
Is that called damask?
It's the damask is the way it's printed, but yes.
Okay. So whether they're linen, I don't know, and that I can't answer that. It doesn't say on the box. Patrick knows his fabric. They're very heavy. I can tell you that. They are heavy.
I'd say yes, they're linen damask.
And they're hemmed, as it said. Now, I did not undo the string. The ones
Does it say what size they are?
18 by 18.
18 by 18, nice size.
The ones on the inside appear to be obviously cleaner, as you can see. See how bright and nice, lovely? The one on the top has got some stains on it because it's just been sitting there. But this looks like this was a gift and it probably was never used. So am I missing any questions? Did I miss anything?
Nope, you've got bids.
Okay.
You address the fact that they're linen. Okay. Janet agreed that they're woven.
Is the vase Steuben? I don't think so. But I don't think it was a Steuben vase. Someone was asking about a green vase. So there they are. And I'll go ahead and count them down. Again, it's 1 dozen, size 18 by 18, made right in America.
I think that makes a box collectible just by itself.
I think so. And it very could well be, you know, during the war when that was very important to consumers, that you weren't getting something from Japan or Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a very 30s, 40s looking box. So there are 12 of them. Terry, thank you for asking, size 18 by 18.
And they're asking a clarification on the color, white or lilac.
The pattern is called lilac, but they are white. Well, they've obviously they're
off-white.
I'd call them more of a tea color. You know, like an antique, like an ivory. Well, they're not white. Okay, more of an ivory.
Susan's got you up to 20.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And flipping through magazines of the 30s, I often find this silver, this wonderful silver. I don't know how they did that in those days, but you don't see it. I saw it a lot in the 30s.
Probably something toxic.
I'm sure that it was. Yeah.
Terry's got you up to 28.
Okay. Oh, is that who? Oh,
and there's the stop.
Okay. So Terry has won them at 28. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, everyone else. Was that it for me, Patrick? Yeah. It was.
That your second one?
I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes.
Okay.
You've got the floor.
All right.
If I can give it to you, you've got it.
All right. Going to, I think, the two oldest items that I'm offering tonight. So this is a $15 start. It is a 19th century. I'm going to say it's a tin glaze. I don't, maybe Majolica. I tried to research this and figure this one out. I could not. There's no marking on it. I do think it is not from America. I think it's European. So since it's not marked, it makes it prior to 1892. So making a couple of assumptions, I believe this would be, although when I tried to find other examples of it, I believe it's a syrup jug because it does have the lid on it, and the lid has a tiny little finial that looks like a tree stump, and it matches the. I should have asked my naturalist husband. I don't think they're maple leaves, but I don't think they're not oak leaves. I don't know what kind of leaves those are. But we've got the trunk, we've got the leaves, and then we've got this embossed pattern in the creamware. There's a gold accent on the leaves and a gold accent around the rim of the jug. The top it has definitely some patina to it. I did not find any markings on it. I do not think it's sterling. So I think it's just a base metal. It's a cool little piece. You could flip the top open and hold it. You could turn this into a vase. It is glazed on the inside. I like the vintage Fox Shop saying for pancake mix. I've seen those before. I don't know if that would have a lid on it because typically you wouldn't need to cover that, but that's a possibility. But we're in the same family that if this was for syrup, that would go on your pancakes. So who knows? Some of the jars like that were done in different sizes. There'd be a littler one for butter, and work your way up. It was reminiscent of some of the Crocs that I have. It's a little bit more of the cream color where the Crocs I do are on the blue side. I just love this primitive look. And this has got a little bit more decoration to it than a typical primitive, but you're getting back into the 19th century. It's definitely going to give you some, if you've got a lot of wood in your anywhere, you don't have to use this in your kitchen or your dining room. Just use it as a beautiful piece. You can put pens in it if you want. You can do whatever you want. It's a functional jug. I do see Patsy coming in with the opening bid. Appreciate that. So I will count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And Patsy's agreeing with me. It's for syrup. So beautiful piece, beautiful silhouette. It would look great with whatever you do. All right, put that to the side while we wait for this countdown. All right, and then I've got another 19th century piece. And this one is one of these fun, I've got a backstory to this. So, okay, see the stop? Did Cheryl get in before the stop? I will wait for Karen to confirm.
I think she did at 20. It looks as though.
Okay.
It looks as though Patsy came in after. So I'd say Cheryl. There we go. Karen.
Cheryl at 20. Excellent. Thank you so much, Cheryl. All right. So our next item is a $20 start. And this is also 19th century Staffordshire flatback.
Yes.
All right. I've never owned and never had a Staffordshire flatback available for sale. And there's a really weird backstory on my personal history with Staffordshire flatbacks. The very first time I ever heard of these was in the movie The War of the Roses, the original one, with Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas. As they buy their fancy house outside DC and they start decorating it, they start collecting these Staffordshire figures. That came out in the 80s, 90s. I'm not exactly sure, but I was, at best in my 20s. I didn't know what any of this was. We collected Norman Rockwell. I didn't know what these were. So I've always heard about them. I watch Antiques Roadshow, see all these different things. I love the discussion I love the movie too. Love the discussion of these flatbacks. So what are Staffordshire flatbacks? Well, first, they're made in Staffordshire. So these are made in England. They are not marked. So right off the bat, these are prior to 1892. And thanks, Karen. Yes, there are a couple of people are commenting on the lag. So don't wait till the last minute because you might miss out. So these end up being popular in the middle to late 19th century. And they became, as the Industrial Revolution kicked in, they became an inexpensive decorative object that the middle classes could put into their homes. And they were called flatbacks because they were designed to sit on your mantle. So you had no cost associated. It's still glazed. The entire thing is painted with a white glaze, but they didn't put any effort into the back because the design literally would put you up against the wall. So why decorate the back? They were popular for decades, but they started to wane toward the end of the 19th century because initially they were very detailed. They had some beautiful designs put into them. They were allegorical, they were historical, they were all these different stories. This one you can see there's there are a couple of the flour mill. You can see the bags of flour in the front. As time progressed, though, the wealthy got offended by the fact that these poor people and these middle-class people were putting these in their own homes. So the rich stopped doing them, but they were still popular. So the companies continued to produce them, but they made them very crudely. The latest ones were all one piece. They were just formed as one piece. They were painted really, very simply until they just really completely fell out of favor. This one is probably somewhere toward the middle to late period because it is still one piece, but there's a lot of detail to it. But there are still two additions. They made these ducks separately and then they put them in. Now, personally, I think they put them in backwards because this is the front and the ducks are looking out the back. So if you put this on your mantle, you're looking at duck butts. So personally, I think they put them on backwards, but the fact that they still had additive pieces means that these were not the late 19th century, were like more middle of the 19th century. But you can see they're still fairly crudely made. The bags of flour that are in front on either side of the doorstep, the paint goes right up to them. They just didn't they're just white. And then they painted right up to them. So you can kind of see where the white just bleeds into the porch. But you've got the water wheel for the mill, because it is a flour mill. And you've got the water for the ducks. So they did paint the water differently. It's the first flatback I've ever offered. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's anyone else is interested in adding to the collection, even though I gave you a very interesting story.
Well, you
but
did,
that's okay.
And I just want to jump in and say, and we didn't talk before tonight at all. I discovered a lot of the same things when I was researching the Staffordshire dogs. Same period, same story. They were very crudely painted. The lower class and the middle class had them, and but same story about the dogs, which would be around the same era, and of course they continued on, and they're still making them today. But
right,
that's a wonderful piece. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good size. So it's and then they even have a little decoration at the top, the moss growing at the top of the piece. But I don't see any takers to it. So I will go ahead and pass this back over to Scott.
Oh, was that two?
Yes, that was my second.
Okay, well that is nice. I have two. These are I wish you could see the wood. I have two candlesticks. Here they are. It's a pair. and a $24 for the pair. They are about 100 years old, maybe a little bit more. They're 11 inches tall. And it's the pair of them. Okay, so starting at $24, a pair of antique wooden candlesticks that are 11 inches tall. And these do not, whether they did or not ever have brass inserts, I don't know, but these don't. So you just want to make sure you blow these out so that you don't burn, the wood doesn't catch on fire. Beautiful old green felt on the bottom of both of these. And these are going to date to around the World War I to early Depression era. So you're in sort of 1918 to 1925, maybe even a little bit later than that. The finish is original and they're beautiful. They have a warm, old, nice patina. It almost looks like cherry. These were typically either mahogany or mahogany stained, and sometimes they would be other hardwoods that would be given finishes, and they're just beautiful. I love wooden candlesticks, and they're just gorgeous. So I'll hold this up very close, and you can see the beautiful reddish, deep brown reddish tone that you get with certain mahogany and cherry woods. I don't know if my light is doing what I want it to do. So they're not cracked, and there's no singe marks here. So these never, everybody blew these out before they hit the wooden area. And but you can always line these with a little piece of tin foil and sort of push it down, but just don't let your candles, don't smoke in bed, as they used to say. People don't say, you remember that? Don't smoke in bed. That was, back in those days. No, they are not slightly different colors, Patsy. Actually, they're both the same. What you're seeing is two different ring lights, one farther away than the other one. My lighting here is never really good, but they're the same color and they've aged the same. See if I do it that way. You're seeing different colors because of the light. But yeah, they're the same color and really pretty. What? Oh. Okay. So the bid right now is at 24. And if there are no questions, I'll count them down. They do have their original finish and they've aged beautifully.
There's nothing like old wood. Like it's just you can't, like you said earlier about the 30s canister. There's certain things you can't recreate.
Yeah.
And they're just gorgeous.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it.
And while we're waiting for the stop, I passed it over to you too quickly. So I had already passed to you before the stop showed up, and somebody bid before the stop. So that's why I'm going to rerun the flatback. So once it bounces back to me, I need to rerun my last item because there was a bid before the stop went in.
Oh yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But that's what all the chat was that you were trying to keep track of while you were talking.
I looked at it. I thought, well, I don't think they're talking.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay. Then the candlesticks. And then next I've got a piece of Pyrex. This will be quick, like really quick.
No, we're doing great on time.
Let's see, 29 for Heidi.
That's what I see.
Esterholm. Thank you, Heidi. And everyone else. Much appreciated. The Pyrex starts at $15, and you'll just have to, you Pyrex people will have to be the ones. Because now this is not chipped. The lid, I think, has a flea bite on one of these points, which is pretty typical. Well, maybe it doesn't. Oh, for Pete's sake, it's a tiny, that really is a flea bite. I mean, it's hardly worth mentioning. It's right there. Just, it doesn't even, so, and this is the, I don't know patterns in this. This is the 474B 1 1/2 quart. And that's some kind of snowflake thing, I think they call it. So $15 on this. It's nice and shiny. I'm not known for selling Pyrex. We might not have any Pyrex people here tonight. I think I rarely.
I can't remember the last time you sold Pyrex.
I know. It's not that I don't like it. I love a lot of things that I don't sell. It's just out of my range. It's out of my era of selling. But I thought, why not? So we'll see if we have a Pyrex.
I don't come across it very often, to be honest. I mean, it's very popular here in the Midwest, and I just, wrong place at the wrong time. I just very rarely come across it to be able to resell it.
You'll have to tell me the name of that pattern, good folk. I don't know. But we have a couple bids, so we have a couple Pyrex people here. So let's go. Oh, it's clean. You know, it's not. The colors
Doesn't
are
have any dishwasher washer damage. Looks like the blue's in really good shape.
No, it's nice and clean. It really hasn't hardly been used.
Oh, blue Garland, according to Anne.
Blue Garland. Thank you, Anne. Blue Garland. I went to high school with him. Yes, it is Pyrex. And
that's the one good thing about Pyrex. They just plastered their name on everything. So
yeah, the lids. I mean,
yeah, it's Pyrex.
Yeah. They're kind of like hall pottery. You know, the size, the mold number, the 12 inches. But I mean, everything.
Do not confuse us with Corningware. We are Pyrex.
Yeah. So we'll count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Yeah, it's Pyrex. 474-B, 1 1/2 quart, trademark. Ovenware, made in USA. Pyrex. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this on the floor. But okay, our winner is the Vintage Fox Shops at 22, and I thank you.
All right, so I was watching for the lag. My lag is running about 8 to 10 seconds. So it seems like some people might be lagging beyond that, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I spent a lot of time telling the backstory the last time. So if anyone is interested in this, please try and bid quickly. Okay, I'm watching. I keep looking down because I'm watching on my actual phone. And so it is now visible. So the lag should have caught up. So again, this was a $20 start. It is the same flatback that I showed before. It's the same story I gave before. It's got this backward swimming ducks on there. It's a $20 start. If anybody was interested, I know that, okay, the Vintage Fox Shops did get their bid in. So I appreciate that. I didn't want you to miss out on it. So I do appreciate, but it did, the lag must be a little bit longer even for Karen because her start was a little bit later than I would have expected. So we are all suffering from the same lag, but I do see the bid. It is $20. I do see a comment from Claire. Please refresh your feed. Typically, if you do that, initially you will see yourself early. But once you update, I do also see you after the stop. So I do apologize. You did miss out on it. But if you just refresh that, you'll actually be able to see what the rest of us are seeing. Thank you, Karen. We're not here just to sell. We're here to educate and we'll tell stories. You know, we are of a certain age. Scott and I are very close in age. So the War of the Roses would be something that both of us would have been aware of. And, it's a great period piece for high glam 80s decor. for what rich people would have. All right, I'm going to go ahead and count it down. I don't see any other bids, so hopefully the vintage Fox shops, you'll be able to get it for the 20, but we'll see what happens. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. So that is the flatback. So I appreciate Scott letting me rerun that one. All right. My next item, this falls into, just like Scott never sells Pyrex, I never would have thought I'd be selling Hummel. I grew up on Hummel. Okay, I see the stop. So the vintage Fox shops. And I think you were new to me. So if you could please make sure you just send me an email so I have all of your information. I live in the Fox Valley. So anytime I see that, I assume you're local. But Foxes are other places. So this is a Hummel. It's exactly what it is. And this is a $10 start. So this is a Hummel figure. Once upon a time, I knew my Hummels because I grew up on Hummels. We had a story of the Madonna and Child. My parents gave a hitchhiker a ride in the 60s. And as payment, they went into the truck stop and bought this, in my opinion, a god-awful Madonna, it's ironic, god-awful Madonna figurine that sat pride of place in our home. And we were Catholic, so it was right there. And so I am very well aware of Hummel. I do not know, however, the name of this individual girl. I should have started. There is a small nick on the bottom. So unfortunately, there was a little bit there. But for the rest, she's in actually great shape. So she's holding a little thing of flowers, and she's got let's go with goat, maybe a lamb behind her. And then coming up behind is this tree form. So this faux bois, all made out of the same porcelain as the Hummel. It does have the West German mark. So there is some age to this. And the Jadeite vase sell. Yes, I believe the Jadeite vase did sell. It's designed to be electrified. It's not that it's been electrified. It was made to be a lamp. So there's a hole out the back, which is where the cord comes through. It is marked M.J. Hummel, is impressed into the back. So from the 80s or earlier, I'd say probably from this design, it's probably earlier than the 80s. But I have tested it. It does work. It has a push button cord, actually, in a style of cord I've actually never seen before. And then also non-grounded plug. So I think this might be a little bit earlier. So maybe this is a 50s.
Gotcha.
But I am not familiar with that one. But it does work. And the shade comes with it. The shade has a little cord and lace design. It's got a little, okay, I don't have enough hands. I can put this down. The shade is actually in pretty good condition considering the shape. A little bit of lace has pulled out, but if you just like friction will hold it back in place. It's got this pinched pleat design on, I'm assuming a wire form because I don't know what's keeping this shape. The shade itself has kind of a plasticized version on the bottom, but this you can see is flexible. This is the fabric. It's ruched at the top. This lace is tied at the top. It's also fabric here on the top. And then it's got the clip, which goes directly onto the light bulb. So there's no harp for this one. This one goes directly on. So I believe there was a conversation about the other one, but I do think there was a bid on this. I think Evelyn has this at 12. So I will go ahead and start counting it down. It's one of these pieces. If some people are going to like Hummel or they're not. And if you like Hummel, there's nothing not to like. It's sweet. It's innocent. It's definitely of its time. It's lovely colors. It's it's a beautiful little piece. It's just not something that everyone's going to be excited by. But it's got the West German mark. You've got some age to this, and you can always replace the shade. The shade to me overpowers this just a tad, but I think it's a little fancy considering she's a little farm girl. But you know what? You can do whatever you want. I will just go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay. I'm making old man noises as I bend over. All right, so that was the Hummel lamp. Watch for the stop on that one. And then the next item, I've got more porcelain, but this is going a little bit older. So I'm watching for the stop.
I have a full litany of old man sound effects, Patrick, that I routinely perform on a daily basis, adding new additions every day.
All right, so this looks like it's going to Evelyn Layton for $15. I'm so glad you're giving this a home, Evelyn. It's one of those cases I had the opportunity to pick it up. It did bring out some childhood memories, which are not always positive in my case. And I was like, somebody will give it a good home. So I'm glad you did. So the next item that I've got here, this is a $20 start.
Ooh.
It happens to be more Staffordshire. I didn't plan this,
Wow.
but when I started researching that, I suddenly realized that I have this pair of plates that are Staffordshire. Now, when I got them, I will be honest, when I got them, I saw they had registration numbers on them. I love European porcelain because they mark everything and you can research the heck out of it and you'll figure everything else. And yes, you do get both for one price. Thank you, Karen. You get the pair. This is not choice. They're identical, but you do get both. They have the registration mark. Now, to me, and my knowledge of British porcelain, the registration number, the RDNO, registered number, those were 19th century creations. Okay, I've just always lived off of that. But they don't have the diamond. So the diamond is what triggers that into the 19th century, because then there's letters within the corners of the diamond that indicates month and year and all this other stuff. But this one, you still get to look it up. You can find it, and it is the blue onion pattern by Staffordshire, registered in 1911, and it was available until 1914. After 1914, the registration marks would no longer have been on there. So you actually have true antiques in the case of the blue onion pattern. So this one, the back stamp's a little bit cleaner than the other. But you've got, it says right on there, onion. You've got the lion passant in the middle. So you've got the lion up on its rear feet. It says right on there, it's Staffordshire, England, because it is after 1892. So everything had to be marked. And it does still have the registration number. So RD is registered, NO is the number, and then the number itself. So literally you can just type that in and it gives you exactly when this piece was registered. It is registered as a transferware piece, but there's hand painting accents to it. So I think the rim was painted and maybe some of the entire interior, because if you look on the back, some of the ink has actually smudged into the back. So I think this is a combination of transferware and accent hand painted.
Yeah. Patrick, your opinion is being asked about whether they could be hung on the wall or not.
They are, I'm calling them plates, but they are bowls. So if you get those wire hooks, which I'm not a big fan of, be very careful if you do that. You just need to get the oversized ones so that you could wrap around here, or they sell them online. There's a circle that you get it wet and it adheres. It would cover up the stamp, but it is theoretically reversible. I've never used it. But I've seen it on like some of the videos, some of the decorator videos. It literally is a little kind of a rubberized, it seems like a little rubberized label. You put it on there, it has a hook in it. So you would be able, this part is absolutely flat. So as long as you could find the appropriate piece, yes, these could absolutely be hung on a wall.
And that's such a classic, timeless pattern. A lot of people have blue willow, and I love blue willow. But, you know, people who know their antiques are going to know, oh, this is some nice blue onion.
Yeah, there's blue onion. So, and they're just really cool pieces. It's one of those cases where like, oh, they're dishes. People don't do dishes anymore. They're not dishes. They're true antiques.
Oh, and this crosses the line into really decorative. I mean, you know, because you're right. As Tina or Steve said, they'd be beautiful on the wall.
Yeah, and that's the Terry added to it. That's what I meant. They're springs. I didn't say that word, but that's what I was talking about. You just need the one that's big enough so those springs can go. Because a lot of the
Mm.
smaller ones have to go flat because they're technically, you can see there's depth there. So, but they would look fantastic on a bowl. And then also, let's just keep in mind all of this stuff, like any of the decorative things that we're selling or that people are buying, there's different ways you can use them. They're fully glazed. I wouldn't necessarily use them to eat off of, but you could.
Yep.
But you could put, potpourri in there. You could put a flower frog in there. It would hold water for your flower frog. You could just throw it. You'd be a little careful with your keys, but softer items that you could throw in there. There's your balls of yarn, whatever. There's
even standing up on the back of a buffet with the two little wooden, plate holders that sit on.
Yeah, like half the stuff that I've got back, I've got a pewter plate. You just need something in the backdrop, and this is again a perfect and a beautiful blue, and it's got a nice mixture of the dark blue with the soft. It's a cool pattern. It's interesting to look at because it's a little bit different. See, like the blue onion here is a little bit different than what's going on over here. So it's just an interesting piece. So
I rarely find blue onion. I think I've found 5 or 6 pieces in my lifetime. I just don't find
I don't think I've ever had this one. So I didn't recognize the actual maker's mark itself. I mean, I'm sure I could have dug a little bit more, but it's a Staffordshire maker. And that's what they were known for. They were known for making high quality porcelain. Yeah. And that's what they're still around. And they're in great shape. So absolutely beautiful pieces, and I encourage everyone to live with them. So I think I did see some prices, bids, so I'll go ahead and start counting it down. 10, and again, you get both. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I should have said what the size across was. 9 inches across. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. All right, get a little flurry coming in toward the last minute. Watch for the stop. Appreciate people having interest in the stuff that Scott and I are bringing tonight. It's always fun to plan for what I think people will respond to. I think Scott and I both fall in the category. There's stuff that we individually like. Not everyone always likes that. And then the flip side of things is like, I don't know if anyone's going to like this. And then people go crazy for it. So we always have to learn. All right. I see the stop. And I think the final one was Terry Trahan for 45. And I'm sorry, Terry, I don't recognize your name, and I apologize if I just don't recognize it, but if you could just make sure you send me an email before the sale ends tonight, I would definitely appreciate it. And thank you. And then that was my second, so that goes back to Scott.
Oh, okay.
Technically, that was my third because I reran the Staffordshire. So your turn.
I'm glad that you did. Okay, I love this thing. And I've got one, and I use it.
So the best words I love to hear is that we use stuff.
I use it, and I look forward to the autumn season. I not that you can only use it in the autumn season, but I'll tell you what I do with mine. First of all, it's in the box. It's all there. It's in beautiful condition. And a lot of you already know what it is and have seen it. And we're going to go ahead and start it at blah, 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 $20. It's from 1964. And I'll tell you what I do with mine. Here's the little recipe book that comes with it, of course. And by now, you know, we have the West Bend old-fashioned bean pot. Look at those big slabs of bacon in there, Patrick. And I love the coffee pots on the back and the penguin ice bucket and the baked beans.
Okay.
1960.
I'll admit, I'm a Midwest guy and we like our baked beans, but I've never heard of a pot that's its sole purpose is to make beans.
Oh, golly,
I
yeah.
guess that's an East Coast thing.
Especially in New England,
Absolutely.
and of course New Jersey is not New England, but we can be in Connecticut in less than, well, the folks that live in North Jersey, they just hop, skip, and jump into Connecticut. So here's the electrical cord. There's the base. You guys have seen this before. I won't go into all of that. But anyway, there it is. So it's in wonderful. So this is the West Bend. Yeah. And it's all marked like that. So you just plug it in. That's it. There is no temperature control. There's nothing. It's that slow, low radiant heat that fills this thing up. I do oatmeal in the wintertime with it. I put it, that's everything in there, and I put it on a timer. And there's nothing better than this thing coming on at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and you start smelling it by 6:30. You're ready to get up, and that hot oatmeal has been in there for an hour and a half, and that's what I do with mine. So there are recipes in here for other than just baked beans. And I think the oatmeal recipe is in here as well. But are they hot dogs? They sure are. Bratwurst or something. So there it is. Did you have one? I bet some of you have one of the original slow cooker. And of course, Boston baked beans. Yeah. I bought one from you, Scott. I know I've sold 2 or 3 of them. I only buy them when I can find them in really good condition. Claire has our bid of 20. And again, just so you know, the electrical cord is fine. And don't we just love it when things survive in an old box?
Absolutely.
Always with like flaking yellowed scotch tape. You know, just love these old boxes. Counting it down now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And I don't have the original box. Mine is just in the kitchen in one of the little cabinets. All right, our bean cooker, our West Bend bean cooker from 1964. Yeah, I could go for some baked beans too.
Yes, yeah, I agree, Steve. Now I want baked beans. I haven't had baked beans in a long time. Summer's coming.
20, no, Claire Bear at 30. Thank you, Claire. And all. All right, thanks so much. Now I have a little dresser tray for $14. A pretty little porcelain. Well, it's not porcelain, it's ceramic. Hand-painted dresser tray with no chips or cracks, no crazing, and it is completely unmarked. Well, there's a number on the back, but that don't tell me anything. And it is painted, though. It's not a, but no one has signed it. So maybe it's the work of Blanche Hare, and you know, this was her early work, and she wasn't confident enough to sign it. Were you with me when Blanche Hare made her debut and nobody bought her?
No, I did not see Blanche.
Well, she is down in the basement because she didn't sell, and I thought, you're going to the basement. This measures 12, 13, 14, 15 by 6.5. 15 by 6.5 is this lovely dresser tray, and as you can see on the back, it's a very nice white ceramic with gilded edges, and it's got some embossed flowers in the ceramic and beautiful painted flowers. And chip-free, crack-free, craze-free, ready for your perfume bottles. Let's count it down. The high bid right now is 15, and here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the lovely ceramic painted dresser tray. Yeah, we'll bring out Blanche again sometime, but she's fine. She's fine where she is right now. This is a pretty one.
I love that stuff. All that painted porcelain. That's what I started selling initially. I love it.
Yeah.
And again, so you do so much with it. You just put that underneath anything. Make a vignette, put it under your tea service, put it on your kitchen table. You can do anything.
The stop is in, and it goes to Patsy M at 19. Thanks, Patsy.
All right. Did you still have additional items?
What time is it? It's
It's
quarter.
only 8:45.
Yeah. I can, Patrick. I can.
I had brought 2 extras.
Well,
So
go ahead.
I can do 2 more, but I didn't know if you had any.
Sure. I'll do something.
Oh, okay. These, at least one of these did not make the preview in my video. I found it afterwards. So I will start with the small one. So what I've got, and this is, I personally picked this up at the Cambridge Glass Museum in Ohio when I visited a couple of years ago. This is a $15 start. And if you've never been to Cambridge Glass, one of the things that they have is they take donations of other people's glass items, other manufacturers' items. And this one was an item that they had been gifted, a Westmoreland sterling from New Kensington, Pennsylvania. And it is the boxed set of an individual salt in beautiful shape. It's got the embossed ribbing all the way around, simple glass, and something that I didn't even know existed, the original salt spoon that is marked, and you're never going to be able to see it, but you can see there is some emboss there at the crown of the spoon. It actually says Westmoreland Sterling. I did not know that Westmoreland had a sterling division. I thought Westmoreland only did glass. So this is the original spoon. To be perfectly honest, when I bought it, because I didn't have my loop, I just assumed it was a spoon. You just grabbed somebody's spoon and shoved it in here. There's a little place that it slides in and it fits perfectly. But it's actually the original spoon because, as the box says, it's Westmoreland Sterling. So, we live something, learn something every day. I have a collection of salt cellars. I tend to like the more colorful ones, the more distinctive ones, but I couldn't pass this up simply because it's a boxed set. I absolutely love a boxed set, but I can't keep everything. So I'm letting this go onto someone else's good home. The box is in really good shape. There's a split of the lid. Unfortunately that happens over time, but it still sits really nicely on the box itself. The box really doesn't have any other indication. It's got the lid on the top, but it is what it is. The glass itself, if I remember correctly, the salt cellar itself, the salt dip I do not see a mark on the salt cellar. But as Scott and I've talked about before, I know several of the glass companies had to move away from marking their glass, particularly the clear glass, because housewives were complaining that they were advertising the company and they didn't like to see the markings. So the fact it's not marked, I don't think is particularly odd. And it is a square inset that I do feel that this is all original. And I appreciate you guys marking it up because I still paid more than what it's currently going for, but that was because it was part of my personal collection. And sometimes you buy it with your heart instead of with your head. So putting this out into the world for someone else to give it a good home right now, Ellie has the top bid at 25, and I will start counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. All right. Watch for the stop on that one while I set up the next. So this moves into the Bohemian glass collection. This is cased glass. Some people are familiar with it when you get into cameo glass, things like that. We explain a little bit what cased glass looks like. So the glass itself, okay, see the stop? And it looks like Ellie picked that up for Ellie Hill, picked that up for 27. And again, I apologize, Ellie. I don't recognize your name. I apologize if I'm supposed to, but if you could send me an email, I would really appreciate it. All right, so this is a candy dish, a powder dish, however you want to use it. It has a glass interior with this green glass. It's a $35 start. It has a green glass interior. And then that glass, maybe it's a little bit easier to show on the bowl. That glass has been encased, coated in white glass. So they formed the green glass bowl, and then they blew formed, because there's no pontil on this one, they formed the white glass over it. So it was completely encapsulated in the white. I just did a video a few weeks ago of my visit to Blanco glass. So you can see some of what they did. But this is Bohemian. And so they covered it in the glass. Then they carved out these little windows. So they cut through the white to expose the green. So in some cases, you'll hear it with vases, with wine glasses. It's called cut to clear. This is cut to green. So it's cased in one color and it's cut to whatever the interior color is. This is exceptionally well made. Bohemian glass tends to be well made. So they did all that carving. You see it's absolutely symmetrical. They then painted in gold in the green. They did the accent underneath it, which is beautifully follows the cuts. And then they did floral design in between. So you can see on the outside, there's 4 sections that all got cut to green. It sits on a flat white base. The artist mark is there is like 27. There's a number. So these were produced. This is a studio piece. So these were produced for resale. But there's the gold accent on it. So that's just the bottom. Then we got the top. So they did the same thing with the top. You can see the green sticks out a little bit more because that's what sets into the bowl. So you really don't see much of the green in between the two. You really just see it in the windows that was cut through. So as you look at the lid, same idea. It's got the green triple window cuts, slightly different floral design, still the same colors, just they're a little bit narrower on the top. So they did the cluster of flowers. Then they did the purple vine across the top. And this is something I'd actually never seen before. The top has a clear handle. So you've got the green body, the white casement, but then they actually attached in the mold and blown a clear top. So you can see, you can see right through that. That is clear. And then they decorated it with the gold trim and they painted the floral design on the top as well. It is, thank you, Cindy. It is gorgeous. It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
It's something that I'd love to put in my booth, but things like this get damaged. People take the lids on and off, they put it back, they don't pay attention to what they're doing. Right now, the base has absolutely nothing on it. And the top has, just like what he did with the Pyrex, there's like a tiniest, not even worth mentioning flea bite right there.
Mm-hmm.
As you work your way around, that's almost it. There's like everything else seems perfectly smooth. That's not going to last long if I put this in a retail environment. It's just like, oh, what's this? Some kid's going to play around with it. So I'm trying to give it a good home here. So this is, and it looks like I'm going to be honest, it smells like it's stored like a body powder or something, like one of those powder puffs. That's kind of the scent that I'm giving. It's been washed, but yeah, so I probably have to do a couple more washes. And there's also the artist's signature mark is in the top, showing that the top matches the base. So absolutely gorgeous piece. Really appreciate somebody giving this a good home tonight. And I see some bids. We're going to count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And that was my second piece, Scott.
Well, I'm just going to offer one more thing, and that's how we'll close out the evening.
All right. Just watching for the stop.
And I wasn't planning on selling this tonight.
We went fast tonight. Maybe we shouldn't have because of the lag, but it's always good to get through and make sure people are entertained.
Well, they say the early bird gets the worm. I don't know what the late night crowd gets, but
well, the second mouse gets the cheese.
Oh, that's right. Well, you're stopping
right.
in, and Susan Charette Hood at 47.
Great. Thank you, Susan. Welcome back. I don't think you purchased anything from me tonight, so I appreciate that you're picking that up. And if you don't mind sending me an email, but I know that you didn't order from me that long ago, so I probably have your contact information.
Oh, dear. Well, I had to run out to the kitchen to get something. This is a 1930s lot, and we have 2 shakers and just the bottom of a green refrigerator dish. But those of you who really know your depression glass, you already know what's really way cool about this. And is that you can obviously see this is green glass. And in this case, there is uranium in this refrigerator dish. But you'll also recognize that this is called Vitrock, made by Anchor Hocking. And they put uranium in this as well. So all 3 of these will actually glow. We're going to start with this at $35. This is the lot. I'll show you the shakers in a minute. They're in perfect condition with their original lids. This is just the bottom with no top. It's been lost, but so it's the bottom of a refrigerator dish. And there's some roughness, a little bit of roughness, but anything that's of serious concern. I was using this in the kitchen and putting odds and ends of silverware in it. But now the 2 Hocking Vitrock pieces go with it. And this is part of the range set. We just have the flour and sugar. There would have been 4: salt, pepper, flour, sugar. These are meant to be, they call it a range set because it usually sat right on the stove. And some stoves were fitted, had a fitted spot, a special rack that a range set could sit in. But it was meant to stay out in the kitchen. They have their original tops, which are in really nice condition. They're original metal tops. And because Vitrock is glass and it contains the uranium as well, you'll see that it does glow as well. So you want to sometimes check with your Anchor Hocking. Sometimes the word Vitrock is embossed on the bottom, but not on these. Doesn't make any difference. It's a type of a milk glass. And I just love the Art Deco flower pots. The staircase isn't there, but they're going up the invisible Art Deco staircase. Flower pots on a staircase. It was a very interesting motif. I don't know who came up with it, but it caught on. I mean, who can say? Flower pots on a staircase. So if you're interested, you can also go and find the salt and pepper if you want to complete your set. But we'll put all these together again, and the green is going to light up. And the individual shakers, as I said, and as you can see, are glowing green on their own. So
it seems like you saved the most popular item for last. You got you got some fans.
And this wasn't in the preview either. Let's go ahead and count it down. That might not be a good idea. As much as I don't.
Oh God, still. What are you doing?
as much as I don't stay still. You're right. 10. That was 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And I'm in love with these original lids. It really makes a difference.
Absolutely.
And we'll bring Patrick's, well, okay. So we'll get our winner for this last piece, and then we'll, okay, the stop is in, and that's it. And Thomas Cummings, they're yours at 75. Thomas Cummings at 75. All right, Thomas, thank you so much.
I wanted to echo one of the things you were just saying, only tangentially related, but I think the audience will appreciate it. So you were saying with those original lids, I don't know that particular design, but so much of the stuff, Martha Stewart recreated it and everything was reproduced, and you get these brand spanking new versions of Jadeite and all this other stuff. And it just doesn't have the same appeal. And so the other day I went to a restaurant that's in the town where my antique shop is. It just opened. It's in an 1870s home, a beautiful federal style home. And I'd never been in it before, and I was all excited to go in. Everything in it looked like it was bought from Hobby Lobby. All of the furniture was like superficially like dark wood, but it's not going to hold up. I mean, you could tell that. And all of the artwork was just this insipid beige tone with a little spot of color. And it just, I'm not bashing Hobby Lobby, but it's like, you've got this beautiful 150-year-old home. Showcase it, do something original, that has some age to it that's interesting to look at. Started looking at the walls. I'm like, I don't want to look at the walls. I want to see pictures of this place when it was built. I want to see pictures of, like, they called it, now I can't think of the name of it. I won't be rude. I won't name it. But the name of the restaurant is the person who owned the house. Well, then put some pictures of the family. Like, let's find, even if they're copies. Do something to make it more distinct. And I walked in, I'm like, this could be a Chili's.
Look, if Cracker Barrel can do
absolutely. It. Yeah, exactly. Cracker Barrel has one of the largest, I can't remember the technical term for it, but it's like, it actually is one of the largest curatorial collections in America. They have professional curators on staff because all of that stuff is legit. Absolutely. It's all real. It has to be labeled. It has to all that stuff, and they keep track of it. Yeah, they even at least make interesting things go on their walls. So get the good stuff, get the original stuff, and you got a story to go along with it.
I haven't been to one in years. I don't think I've been to a Cracker Barrel in 10 years, Patrick. But I don't know why. There's not one around here, and it's just, I don't know. No particular reason. I just haven't been a long time. Well,
all right. Well, we've come to the top of the hour, so we did fill the time. Appreciate being here. So this was a little bit of a change of schedule for us, but yes, we're going to hold on to that. So for everybody that liked this tonight, I'm no longer going to be the fourth Monday slot. I'm going to be the first Monday slot, which worked great for me because I wasn't available for the fourth Monday slot in April. So this worked out great for me. So we're going to reschedule that. But what do you got going for the rest of your time on YouTube?
Well, so we've changed the schedule. You are the first of the month. David and I, the Two Chaps live sale, we are the second Monday of the month. I'm going on summer hiatus for May, June, July, and August. We'll see what happens in September. But the last 2 Monday nights of the month, there will be no live sales. So I'm only going to have live sales on the first and the second Monday night, starting tonight through May, June, July, and August. But I don't want to take up too much time now. I guess I'm going to give myself a shameless plug. If you'll go and watch the video I did this afternoon, I explained more about my reason, just a little bit more, some other things I'm going to be doing, lots of YouTube videos and eBay store. And if you don't know about that, you can check out the video. But so thank you for asking. And I don't mean to keep pointing at you with my glass. You're doing a lot of videos yourself. You've been coming on doing.
I'm trying to come back on. mixing it up a little bit. Because I'm also directing a show right now, I don't have as much time. So the last couple of videos have just been shorts. But those are fun to make. It's been one of those cases like, oh, hey, I'll just hop on and like do a little story about this and, just get some extra content out there. I have been very active with my eBay store. So that is something that's been doing very well. Knock wood, it's, feed the algorithm. So the more I put in there, the more activity I seem to get. And I've had some great picks lately. So I really need to be able to do some haul videos, showcase some of the stuff. I'm thinking about doing some videos about what's going into my eBay store. I'm not doing auctions. I think a lot of what you're doing is auctions, though. So definitely follow Scott's channel. Hopefully you already do that, and sign up for his notifications because you'll be able to participate in his auctions. Mine is kind of first come, first served. So I've list some things and it sells within an hour. I'm like, okay, I guess I could have asked for more, and other things don't sell. So it's still a game I'm figuring out. I haven't had as much experience as Scott has,
but I appreciate you saying that, because you realize what I didn't say is that the things that I would normally be selling on that third and fourth Monday night, they're all shifting to eBay. So yeah, thanks. And I do explain that in the video I did this afternoon, but I didn't mean to be cryptic about it or mysterious. I'm back into that eBay store. So yeah. And if you go to my eBay store and subscribe to it and you sign up for notifications, you'll get a daily notice if you want. You can turn it off if you don't want it, but it'll say, look at everything new in the store. Because somebody asked me a minute ago, where are you going to sell your Vienna art plates? I see it in the chat. They're actually going to be in the eBay store. And I don't get paid if you subscribe. There's nothing about tricking you into subscribing. You don't, I mean, it doesn't, I don't get your information. I can't like send you things. You just get a daily, you get a notification every time I list something, but you can turn that off if you don't want that.
Right.
And so you know that, yeah.
And you were, if I remember correctly from watching your video and what you were talking about, you're always going to be posting yours. The sales will end, or will they always end on the same night, or are you mixing it up?
I had thought about that, and I thought, no, I can't make myself do that.
I don't think I'd be able to do that either.
Yeah. So there'll be 3-day auctions, 5-day auctions, 7-day auctions. It's just, but as long as you subscribe, you don't have to worry about, well, what is he putting in and when. You'll just get a little message. Here are the 5 things that Scott put in his eBay store today, and that's it.
Do you have a link on your YouTube about section that links to your eBay store? Because people are asking what your eBay shop is called.
It is. I put it in there. I put the link under the video that I did this afternoon. I did.
And if you go into his about section, or if you go into I'm Trusty Huckster Mercantile. If you go into my about section, there's also a link to the eBay store, so you can get him that way. All right. Well, I appreciate. Sorry, we ran a little time, but appreciate for all of you that stuck around, and even if you didn't buy, we had a great chat. Love some of the stuff that was coming out in the chat, and always have fun spending my Monday night with Scott. So thanks, everybody.
Always good.
Have a great week.
So long. Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night. And thank you.